Okay, folks, I think that is time. It's officially time for this show. It is a special edition of The Game Plan, coming to you live from Integrity Heat and Air out here in Oklahoma City. For those wondering, the address is 7157 Northwest 80th Street. Call them at 405-498-2399. Obviously, Integrity does heat, air, cooling, electrical work, all that good stuff. I'm sitting down with Chad Lyle and Michael Coleman here today. We got an hour-long show for you, and we're going to talk all the latest in sports news. But first off, gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Hope you all having a good day.
Yes, sir. It's good to be here. We appreciate you.
All right. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to remember to pass the mic back and forth. It's a little weird, I know. But I've been looking forward to doing this one for a while. I'm told you guys have been looking forward to doing this one. When I called this morning, they told me y'all were looking forward to it. So... Hey, well, we got an hour-long show for everybody watching on Facebook. We want to thank you for tuning in, and for everybody listening online on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk, we want to thank you there as well. We're going to cover some NFL, some college football, all the latest from this weekend, and much, much more. So before we get into the talk, fellas, tell us a little bit more about what you do here at Integrity.
Absolutely. So I'm a service tech. I handle all the HVAC needs. And then this is
my name is Michael Coleman. I'm more of a customer care representative, so anything from warranty repairs, or if someone's interested in indoor air quality or lowering their energy costs, I can help with some of those solutions.
So you're the one helping the guys, like, get their money back, right? The bang for the buck type thing?
Yeah. If a homeowner has some questions about how they can make their experience and comfort in their home better, then, one of the things that we do is just give them some solutions on how we can accomplish that.
Perfect. And how long have you guys been working here at Integrity?
So I've been with Integrity for about a year and a half, but I've been doing HVAC for about 7 years.
And I've been here for the better part of 2 years, and I've been in the industry for around 16 years.
Okay, so you guys are veterans of the craft, right, of the industry. What is it about Integrity that's kept you here these past couple of years?
Well, one of the things that has really kind of kept me at Integrity is just the family-oriented culture here. One of the things that I appreciate about this organization is that they really do put a large emphasis on family and values and morality, and so that's one of the things that kind of keeps me here. They kind of drive doing the right thing and allowing the homeowner to communicate and doing what's best for them, and not being self-serving.
That's fitting for the name, right? Integrity. There you go.
Yes, sir. That's what I was going to say is I believe that Integrity is very good at showing true integrity to the customers. We give them all their options and let them choose. We don't really push any sales. We just give the customer all the options and let them choose. So I know HVAC is hard to trust a lot of companies, but Integrity is very trustworthy. So that's the reason why I'm still here for sure.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Integrity and some of those services you offer here later on the show. Perfect. A reminder for everybody listening, 7157 Northwest 80th Street. That's where the office is located. You can come by and chat with the guys yourself. Call them at 405-498-2399. Remember Integrity Heat and Air. They're a great host for the show today. So, all right, this weekend, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk some football first. I don't know how many games y'all got to catch, but I hope you caught that Dallas-New York game, because that was by far the most fun one this weekend.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So I was actually at the fair while the game was going on, but I caught bits and pieces as I walked through the bars and stuff like that, so it was a good time.
How was the fair for you?
It was great. Ate a lot of food. My son rode some rides. I don't really trust the big rides.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my son enjoyed it. We had a really good time there.
What are we, in the middle of Oklahoma or something? You don't trust the state fair rides? Come on, man. Did you at least get to eat some of the fair food, like those fried, what was it? They had a cobbler out there in a cone and the corn dog stuff?
Absolutely, yes. We got fried Oreos. Those are always really good. And my favorite is actually a mozzarella cheese stick surrounded with hot Cheetos. So it was really good.
That sounds like a lot of cheese. I got to be honest with you there. So, Mike, you didn't get to go down to the state fair, but were you watching the games?
I hadn't had the opportunity to swing by yet, but I have a 13-year-old, and she's been on me about devoting some time and getting out there to the fair, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there you go. That hot Cheeto wrap mozzarella sticks is a pretty good reason to go.
Some suggestions, right? Yes,
Just don't take her on that Oklahoma Ferris wheel, I guess, or whatever they got out there.
Well, maybe I'll tighten up the screws on a few of those rides.
Yeah, you might have to double check. I've heard it's always a fun time. I've never gotten to go myself personally since I've been up here for college, so it's on my bucket list too.
Nice.
I don't know what attractions they have out there, but now I might be checking the screws too when I
Man,
go.
it's a good time. They got something for everybody out there, man. I'm real proud of them. Like whoever puts that thing on and puts it together, there's a lot to do. And so if you've never had a chance to go by, I'm sure you'll find something that you're interested in.
Absolutely, gonna have to. Well, now that we've gotten good and sidetracked, let's go ahead and circle that back to the Dallas game. So, for those who weren't watching or didn't catch it, the final score was 40-37. Dallas won at home in overtime against the New York Giants, who they, by the way, now fall 0-2. 450 yards passing from Russell Wilson on 30 for 41 completions for attempts. We just got prime 2013, 2014 Russell Wilson going to Super Bowls in a random one-off Week 2 game against the Dallas Cowboys because it's always against Dallas, right? Now, I'm watching that game, and Dak had 361 yards on his end, 2 touchdowns and the interception. I was just saying, man, Dallas has so many issues we got to fix right now, especially in the secondary with Bland out. But that was a fun game. I hadn't had fun watching a football game like that in a while. Did y'all feel the same?
Absolutely. It kind of felt like college a little bit. It was definitely a shootout. And in college, you don't really get a lot of those, in the NFL, you don't get a lot of those, but that was definitely a fun game to watch. It looked like every time I looked at the TV, somebody was scoring. So
That's pretty much how it went. Dallas was held scoreless in the first quarter. New York was held scoreless in overtime, obviously, and that was it. Both teams had 20-plus point fourth quarters. It was absolutely ridiculous. Javonte Williams for Dallas had almost 100 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown. He kind of surprised me as one of the leading rushers for the team. But the story of the day for me had to be, without a doubt, that Russell Wilson to Malik Neighbors connection, which I tell you, when we got that prime Russell Wilson Super Bowl type, he is launching passes downfield, like 40 to 60-yard passes every other attempt, just rearing back and letting it fly. I was scared. He got me. I was scared. I was sitting in my chair there like, we're going to lose this game. We're going to lose this game to the New York Giants.
absolutely. He puts a lot of air under the ball. That's one of the best things. He throws it up and lets the receiver go under and catch it. I haven't seen Russell play like that in a long time, so it was fun to watch. Looked like all they were missing was Marshawn Lynch out there. So
I thought the exact same thing, but I said, hey, they might as well have Lynch back in the backfield with Cam Scatterbo. So that guy was tearing it up too. But I got to show you this, and I'll pass this around. Dak Prescott has 14 wins in a row against the Giants. Out of all quarterbacks in the NFL, that's the second longest streak. Only topped by Greasy. They're at the top.
that's
That
crazy. He definitely has their number.
No kidding. And by the way, another Dallas Cowboy on that list, Troy Aikman there against Arizona. But that is untold levels of dominance, and it was a 3-point difference that almost ruined that streak last night at 13. Man, I love Dak Prescott, dude. I hope he wins a Super Bowl so bad. I hope Jerry Jones doesn't win a Super Bowl, but I hope Dak and the guys do win a Super Bowl. You feel me?
Yeah, Dallas is definitely fun to watch. I'm an OU guy, so C.D. Lamb is definitely my guy. He's one of the best in the game, and I feel like they have a really good connection as well. So.
Yes, sir. I was so happy when he got back to being CD in Week 2 after those drops, man. That was so tough to watch.
It was. Yeah, I watched that game, and it's just uncharacteristic for him. Like he never makes those drops, and he was right in his breadbasket, and he just couldn't pull it together. So
No.
definitely disappointing.
Yeah, but he picked it back up. He finished with 9 receptions for 112 yards. No touchdowns, but he had a 33-yard catch, which was the longest out of Dallas's end. For me, George Pickens had his touchdown catch. All right, I don't know if y'all play fantasy, but George Pickens is on my team as a flex because I think he's going to have a really good year, better than a lot of people are giving him credit for. So getting that first touchdown, dude, I lit up watching that game. I was like, finally. He actually targets him and he actually gets into the end zone. So I was happy about that. Okay, that's an idea. Integrity Fantasy Football League. All of y'all
Make it
here.
happen.
Good.
Make it happen.
I bet you Blaine and Michael will probably be pretty good at fantasy football too. Yeah, Blaine's over there nodding his head. He knows. Hey, another game I want to point out. I don't know if y'all have picked up with that. Look at Josh Allen's nose right there.
Ooh.
He had his nose broken the game he was playing. He comes out to the sideline, motion for Mitchell Trubisky immediately, goes down, sits in. They pop it right back in. He's back into the game maybe 5 plays later.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the toughest dudes in the league. Like, year in and year out, he's durable. Man, he can take some hits for sure.
Can y'all imagine?
That's
I mean, face right into the thigh of a lineman, I think it was. Just hits it hard. It goes down, immediately comes out. If that was y'all, would y'all come back in the game? Or is he just crazy?
no, he's crazy.
He's crazy. That's it. He's crazy.
That's a different level of dedication there, I'll tell you.
Are we getting that same dedication for HVAC services? If y'all broke your nose on the job, would you have someone pop it back in and go right
Oh,
back?
absolutely. When it comes to HVAC, we got to take care of our people, you know. So.
Customer service, folks. Customer service. Michael just agreeing with you. He's just not.
1,000%. Yeah, yeah.
He don't want to answer that. He don't want to go on record saying that.
It's like broken nose. Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Absolutely, and that's why integrity is the best right there. Hey, we got about 5 more minutes left on this first segment. When we come back, we're going to talk some more sports. We might move into college sports on the next one, get talking some OU, talk some stuff like that. But here for this final segment on the NFL, one more game I want to talk about, of course, with Buffalo blowing out New York, even though all of that, not even drama, that news surrounding Josh Allen. Joe Burrow is hurt again. His O-line has sold for the past, 10 seasons. Now he's out with a toe injury, I think it is. He's going to have surgery in a 31-27 win over Jacksonville. He's going to be out for at least 4 weeks, maybe 6. Bad news for Cincinnati fans. Joe Burrow is a league favorite as well, a fan favorite. I have Jamar Chase on my own fantasy team, so losing his starting quarterback is not great for me. But it's ridiculous to see. And I don't know if y'all have any opinions on this because this is a question we like to ask in more and more in seasons, but I'm pretty sure they play on turf. I'm pretty sure they at least were playing on turf. And there's obviously the studies, the science. You say turf is more dangerous. Watching it, do you think all the leagues, all the teams should go back to grass? Not even in just football, but like every other sport?
Yeah, absolutely. Turf is dangerous. I remember when I played high school football, the only injury that I had was turf toe, and it's just your cleat gets caught and your toes hit the ground really hard and it jams it basically. So I feel like turf is dangerous. Natural grass is far better. You have to maintain it more, but I mean they're the National Football League. They can afford it.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. No, I'm right there with you, man. I wish they would all definitely go back to grass. I think that is just strictly better. But, I mean, I guess it looks good. I guess the turf does look good. But even to that end, grass looks pretty good too. The Indianapolis Colts beat the Denver Broncos 29-28. Daniel Jones is having a little bit of a resurgence here through 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on with him, but apparently anytime you are fresh on the Giants or fresh leaving the Giants, you're bound to have a comeback. So maybe another quarterback to keep up on for the fantasy league. I don't know, but
Absolutely. I also saw that his football card doubled in price over the weekend.
no way, really?
His downtown card literally doubled in price.
Dude, what'd it go from $1 to $2? That's crazy. Hey, Danny Dimes finished with 316 yards and a touchdown in that win. He had a quarterback rating of only 78, but a true rating of over 100. So it's not a bad day for Daniel Jones. We're going to have to start calling him Danny Quarters. He's apparently more valuable than Danny Dimes. That's ridiculous. Hey, we're coming up on our first break here. We're going to send it to commercial. We are over at Integrity Heat and Air talking sports with the guys. Integrity is at 7157 Northwest 80th Street here in Oklahoma City. Call them at 405-498-2399. They've got a website, integrityheatandair.com. So go to the website there. We're sitting down with Chad Lyle and Michael Coleman. We'll be back after this little bit of a break, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Game Plan on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. All right, so that's commercial. So what do y'all think about that? Nah, that's good. I'm turned down. Hey everybody, we are back here on this special episode of the Game Plan, live at Integrity Heat and Air out here in Oklahoma City. I'm sitting down with Chad Lyle and Michael Coleman. We're talking all the latest in sports. Integrity is over at 7157 Northwest 80th Street. Call them at 405-498-2399. Hit these guys up whenever you need any services done, the heating, the cooling, the electrical, the plumbing, and all of it in between. Well, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit more about what you do here at Integrity. When you're out on a job, what does the actual process look like for you two in your respective areas?
Absolutely. So in service, we'll get a call that your HVAC's not working or it's a maintenance. We go out, we look at your unit, we see exactly what's wrong, and then we'll give you options to fix it. If it's old and needs to be replaced, we'll give you that option as well. We also handle air purification. So if you have dust or allergies that are bad, you can make sure you call us. We'll come out there and see what it will take to get you fixed. So, but yeah, just really anything to do with the HVAC equipment. If it's broken or if you just need it maintenance, we'll get you taken care of.
And one of the things that we try to, focus on is giving our homeowners an honest assessment of what they have going on. A lot of times people are leaning on us for, information that, and it could be costly sometimes. And so it's important for us to communicate, transparent to the homeowner, and then also provide affordable options that they can.
So you both mentioned that now, the communication, the options, that seems like such a big deal that y'all push here. Is that something that maybe in this, I don't want to call anybody out here, but something in this industry you see doesn't happen so much?
Yeah, I just, I know the pandemic's behind us and not to harp on it, but I just feel like, after the pandemic, a lot of homeowners kind of lost some faith in service companies, and so one of the things that we try to do is to reinstill that confidence that service companies are willing to serve, and that there's still a such thing as old school, answer the phone, give an honest assessment, and then invest in a company that you can trust. And so that's every single day when we show up, that's our mindset is honest, work. The name Integrity is not just a name, it's something that we embody when we go to the homes.
Perfect. And they can call you at 405-498-2399, as I've been saying, but what are the hours for Integrity here?
Well, it's in-office hours from 7 to 7, and we do have after-hours support as well. And so if somebody has an emergency situation, we do plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. And so after hours, give us a call. If you're experiencing a water leak or if, your home's not comfortable and it's outside of the conventional business hours, we do have after-hours support as well.
There you go. Pretty much 24/7.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There you go. Call Integrity Heat and Air for all your needs here in Oklahoma 24/7. Again, the number is 405-498-2399. These guys are the best. We always love coming out here and hanging out. And you've actually seen Mike on our commercial we shot for Integrity not so long ago. So if you've been watching the Bethany High games, you've been seeing that one play. Got to say, I know y'all finally got the commercial. It took a while to get here, but we finally got it to you. What do you think about how that one turned out?
I was surprised as to how much of a good time it was, man. You're really good at what you do, and so, you're really good at showing us how to take care of that stuff, man. I was surprised as to how much fun it was.
No, I appreciate
that. We get
that.
real good feedback from homeowners as well.
There you go. I think it was just I had the most natural actors in the world between you and Blaine. So.
Yes, sir. You may have started something, man. Careful.
Hey, I call that all the better. All right, let's get back into the sports talk here on this second segment. We're going to move on to college football, and we might stay here for a second, fellas, because we got some good games we're going to talk about. Let's start with maybe the most important game, all right, of the week, Oklahoma-Temple. Oklahoma marched up to Pennsylvania, took it in a barn burner 42-3. Chad, I know you were catching up with that one. Let's talk a little bit about it. Are you confident in Oklahoma that they can make a postseason run through 3 weeks?
Absolutely. John Mateer is a dog. He does everything right. He makes a couple mistakes, but that's going to happen when you're gunslinging it. So, yes, I think Oklahoma's defense will show up and show out. The first real test, I think Michigan was an okay game, but I think our first real test against Auburn, they're gonna put our corners on an island and see if they can make plays. So I think after this week we'll really be able to decide how good OU is going to be.
I like it. That's a good opinion. And I'm pretty sure Auburn has never beat Oklahoma in Norman, is the stat. I'm pretty sure they've never come here and taken a game against us. So we've got good home field advantage. And I know SEC game day is going out to cover, so it should be a lot of fun again. Are we going to get one of you guys out there as a guest picker someday, like Trey Young did on that College Game Day one?
Hey, if they'd let me, I'd love to do it. Absolutely.
All right, let's hit them up, guys. Spread the word. We're bringing Chad Lyle on for a guest picker on one of those game days. He's bound to go 6 for 6 on the show, so don't even worry about it. But yeah, I'm right there with you with John Matera. I love the way the kid plays. In this game against Temple, he was 20 for 34 with almost 300 yards passing and a touchdown. The only thing that worries me is that he has 3 interceptions through 3 games. Now, I know a lot of that has to do with, he's just has a lot of attempts, but I think it's also his arm angle coming from that more sidearm slot. He can sometimes struggle to get the air under the ball he needs to. I think that is really, so far, the biggest issue for Oklahoma, which is not saying a lot because this is a really good team. And for that small tweak to be the only issue, I think they're in a good spot. Guys, they're currently ranked number 13. I think they're going to move up to 11 after that week. Should they be top 10, in your opinion? Have they proven enough to be a top 10 ranked team?
Absolutely. I think that OU is definitely outperforming Texas. Texas is in the top 10. So I believe that they deserve to be in the top 10, but that's all rat poison at the end of the day. So they just need to put their head down and worry a week at a time. So
I'm right there with you, and that's funny you should say that about the AP rankings because I'm feeling more and more like that as this thing goes on. So you mentioned Texas. I think they were, number 7. They won by like a touchdown. Wasn't like super good game. They got UTEP by 17, more than that. But still, it wasn't like the best game ever. Arch Manning has looked kind of rough. Do we think he was just unready? He was not ready to lead this Texas team. Do you think they should have gone to someone else?
No, I don't think they should have gone with somebody else right out the gate. But Dia Bell, which is their freshman quarterback, I believe he was a 5-star, very high-rated kid coming out of high school. I believe that he should definitely get a chance now. Arch hasn't looked the best. I'd say bring him in and see what he can do.
I'm right there with you again. I know I keep saying this, but we've got very similar opinions, I guess. I think Oklahoma is going to have the advantage when we get to Red River if this keeps up. If Oklahoma keeps putting up offensive and really defensive performances like this, especially as we get into that SEC schedule, I'm scared for Texas. They could not only fall out of the top 10, they take just that one bad loss, they could find themselves on the back half of the top 25.
Absolutely. They don't really have any good wins right now. So if they go to Dallas and get manhandled by Oklahoma, I feel like they're definitely going to fall out of the rankings.
Which they will be. Don't even worry about it. Let's talk some other games here. So I got a question for you. Notre Dame lost 41-40 to Texas A&M. Went right down to the wire. They had a big special teams mishap that kind of cost them the game. Mike, and I'm going to ask you this because I want to hear your opinion. If you heard that a top 10 ranked team was 0-2 through 3 weeks, would you keep them top 10 or would they fall off?
They'd fall off, absolutely.
Then why is Notre Dame still ranked top 10? What are we doing here?
Nonsense.
The argument is quality losses, right? I mean, Texas A&M was ranked number 16, beat them by 1, went down the way. It's a quality loss, yes, but at some point, when does the winless couple of weeks trump that, right?
Absolutely. There should be no team ranked that's 0-2. Notre Dame is a good football team, but you got to get wins. That's what matters at the end of the day. So I don't understand that. I don't understand that either.
I'm right there. Mike, what are your thoughts on that? Should they be ranked at all as winless?
I mean, just, I feel like, out of the top 25 is definitely appropriate for losses. Like, going back to piggyback on what Chad said, loss and wins matter, and that's why we're all watching to see the best product on. So, if they're not going to, have wins, then it doesn't seem appropriate to be in the top 25 for sure.
Okay, there you have it, folks. Notre Dame should not be ranked. The Fighting Irish 0-2, 0-1 at home. C.J. Carr threw for almost 300 yards, but Marcel Reed on the other side for the Aggies went for 360, 2 touchdowns for them. It really was a good game. I went back and watched the highlights, but man, those poor Fighting Irish wide receivers, it just seemed like their cornerbacks, their wideouts, they couldn't win the jump balls, especially the cornerbacks, I think it was, when they needed to. They just could not win a single jump ball. They couldn't go up and bat away a contested catch.
Absolutely, yeah. Texas A&M looked pretty legit in the game. Reed was just throwing it up to his receivers, and his receivers were going to get it. They got real playmakers on that side of the ball for sure.
Clearly, clearly. You know who apparently doesn't have playmakers? It's number 12 Clemson. Getting beat by Georgia Tech 24-21. How far does Clemson fall from the number 12 spot?
I believe that they should fall out of the rankings as well. They're not the same Clemson team. They got real playmakers. They have playmakers, but they're just not showing up in the moments that matter. Clemson's defense is very good. They didn't look that great on Saturday. They just didn't seem like they were ready to play.
Ready to play, man. It seemed like the Giants weren't ready to play. It seemed like one Giant lineman specifically was not ready to play in that game. But,
Absolutely.
well, I'll leave the name off. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. By the way, this is my favorite stat now. Only player in the last century to have 4 penalties on one drive.
I watched highlight. There's literally highlights made of him just messing up. Like, it was pretty bad.
Okay, you're gonna have to send me that video. I'm gonna have to watch that now. The real cinema like movie of just the flags. You can make one from that game, man. Between all of them on both sides, it was bad. Hey, let's look ahead to week number 4 coming up here. Oklahoma, of course, we talked about it. They've got Auburn next. It is 22 versus 11 here coming. Mateer has already almost reached 1,000 yards passing on the year. Now, you said his cornerbacks are going to be put on an island. In your words, they're going to be tested. His wide receivers, I mean. Do you think that passing game is still there against what could be a much tougher Auburn SEC defense?
Absolutely. I think that OU has real playmakers. Deion Burks is very shifty. I think he's very hard to guard. The thing that I'm worried about is OU's run game. Jaden Ott has been like non-existent. He makes a lot of money to not get touches, so I think OU needs to get him involved, get him some carries, and see what he can do.
I'm hoping this is the game for him. He only had like 4 carries against Temple. I know they're being careful with him, but I'm hoping this is the game. Mike, I'm going to come to you here. I'm going to get your predictions. Let's go for it. Texas Tech, Utah, 17-16. Who's winning that game?
I'm just going to go Texas Tech. Knowing the little I know, I'm just going to go Texas Tech.
That's fair. That's exactly why I came to you. It's because I want to hear your picks.
By a field goal. Lock it in.
There you go. Lock it in. I like it. Let's look for another ranked game here. Illinois and Indiana are playing. That's 9 versus 19. Both teams 3-0 in the Big Ten. What's our pick?
Let's go the upset on that one. Why not, right?
I mean, it's been a year of upsets already. So the 19 over the 9, Indiana taking down Illinois. That's the prediction. Texas does not have a ranked matchup. They get a couple weeks to, what people are saying, try and find their rhythm. But the way this is going, could the 0-3 Sam Houston team beat the 2-1 number ranked team, Texas?
And they could. If those guys get in there motivated and play hard, if they believe in themselves, they'll probably pull out a W. It's possible.
It's possible. Sure. With this Texas team, anything is possible, right? Absolutely. I do not trust them.
I believe that Texas gets everybody's best game. There's a lot of people that don't like Texas, so I think they'll see their best game. But I think Texas will win that game.
All right. Before we go to break, one more game here. A little bit of a rivalry: Oregon State and Oregon. Of course, Oregon State 0-3 here should be a fairly confident Oregon victory.
Yeah, Oregon by 50.
By 50.
50 minimum. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Hey, we are live at Integrity Heat and Air for this episode of the Game Plan. We've still got half an hour left, so we're going to, I think, pivot into some baseball talk here later on. Of course, I can talk about baseball for hours, but I'll limit it to maybe 15 minutes. I'm sitting down with Chad Lyle and Michael Coleman. We're talking all the sports. We're here at Integrity again. The address is, pull it up here, 7157 Northwest 80th Street. Call them at 405-498-2399. We're going to come back with the break right after this. It's halftime here at the Game Plan. All right. Hey guys, we are back here live from Integrity Heat and Air. Now coming out of halftime, getting ready for quarter number 3. We're going to keep talking some sports. I think we're going to move on to baseball next. But first, I got to tell you a little bit more about Integrity, 7157 Northwest 80th Street, as you've heard so many times, because don't forget it. They're right here, eager to serve you, ready to serve you. The website is integrityheatandair.com, all spelled out, all lowercase. Is there an email they can reach Integrity at?
Yes, integrityheatingandair.com. We try to keep it real simple so that people can find us.
All right, perfect. It's right there. They've got 100% rating from what I can tell here on my phone real quick. So very high ratings coming in for Integrity. Remember them. Guys, as we get into the fall and September keeps going on, we're coming out of the summer. Is this when the orders start to come in a little bit quicker, or is it kind of the reverse coming out of summer?
No, absolutely. We definitely have some people who are a little bit more mindful of their saving by off season. And so sometimes people will wait until this, one thing we always say is you buy shorts in the winter and coats in the summer. And so some of those people who are more mindful about their money will call now to get a little bit of a discount. So we definitely have people placing orders.
Nice. That's smart. I'm not smart enough for that. I would have never thought about that. So getting into the winter, I guess it's probably obviously more heating, but for the electrical and plumbing stuff, for that side of the business, what does that really look like for the workers going out?
Well, just being mindful of making sure everything is safe and operational and clean. Sometimes the furnace gets kind of looked over because they're a little bit more forgiving than the air conditioner. The air conditioner will kind of throw a code or shut off, but the furnace will kind of power through. And so just being mindful of keeping it clean and serviced and maintenance it's important if you want to be reliable.
So you just mentioned keeping it clean, how easy some of these things can malfunction. What can the people listening at home do to keep their equipment safe?
Now just pay attention to your experience. If you notice any weird smells, maybe gas smells or combustion smells, or if you notice that the unit seems to run a little longer than what you're used to, just being mindful of that type of stuff. And just the one thing that we try to communicate to the homeowners is allow us to catch it early. Preventative maintenance is real important, and we offer a service plan for that. So often we get kind of blindsided and we have to respond to an issue, but if we have a little bit more forethought and we do preventative maintenance, then we can save money and avoid some of those emergencies.
I was about to say that's probably a lot cheaper for the customer too.
Absolutely. If we can catch it on the front end, sometimes we can save people money as opposed to this part takes out this part, and then now it's a little bit more of a serious scenario where we could have avoided it on the front end.
There you go. Keep that in mind, folks. That's good advice right there. Last question I've got before we get back into the sports talk. Where can I find me an Integrity Heat and Air polo or a button-up like I'm wearing?
Done. Just say the word. It's already done. We'll make sure it's done.
All right. I'm going to remember that one. I'm going to hold y'all to that. Hey, we're getting back into the sports talk here. Thank you to everybody that has tuned in on Facebook or is listening online. Some news out of the baseball world. Mariners' Cal Raleigh has tied Mickey Mantle's home run record, and he sets another with his 54th home run, a switch-hitting catcher out of Seattle, of all places, putting up historic numbers. Absolutely ridiculous. I'll read it for you here off the ESPN site. Cal Raleigh tied Mickey Mantle's season record for most home runs by a switch hitter with his 54th, and the Seattle Mariners extended their winning streak to 9 by routing the Los Angeles Angels 11-2 on Sunday. They have now taken sole possession of the American League West over the Houston Astros, which just a few short months ago looked pretty much like an Astros lock. Seattle, I guess, I thought they were going to go through a bad slump here at the end, but it looks like they might be gearing up for a World Series run. Fellas, are we high on Seattle right now for this hot streak?
Sure. Yes.
My brother would love to hear you say that. I'll give you that.
Absolutely. When you have somebody doing damage on both sides of the plate like that, that's a dangerous team.
I'm going to go through and read off the standings for the AL West. Seattle sits atop by one game, 82-68, the win-loss. Houston is at 81-69. Now, fellas, Houston's issue is that no one can stay healthy. Their entire pretty much starting 9, save for, Bregman and Altuve maybe, are all on the injured reserve. They're all hurt. Texas is still 3 games behind division lead, but they're sitting at 79-71, looking for their 80th win. My prediction earlier this year was actually that neither New York team was going to be in the playoffs, which I may only be half right about that. The Mets might fall off, but New York seems like a lock. Does Texas sneak their way in for that last wild card over Houston, with Houston slumping like this?
I believe so. Absolutely. that you gotta be hot at the right time, and it looks like the Rangers will, and also the Mariners as well. So
Yeah.
you gotta win at the right time of the year.
No kidding for the Mariners. 9-1 in their last 10. That's ridiculous. Looking at the schedule here, you can see Texas has a series against Houston coming up. They start tonight. Then it's Miami, who should be an easy win, Minnesota, and Cleveland to round out the year. Those 3 games are the epitome of September baseball. That series matters so much for the race for the final wild card spot in that pennant. Oh boy, I have some Texas fans back home, y'all, that love the place the Rangers are in right now. It does feel like for both of these teams, both of their destinies are right there for the taking. They'll just reach out and grab it. Why is it so difficult sometimes for these teams to do just that, to go out and take it when it's there and lock in for that final part, do you think?
Well, injuries play a factor for sure. If you're getting hot at the right time of the year, that's great. But sometimes it just comes to swinging the bat and making contact. Some people, when the pressure's on them, they fold. So.
Hey, and when the pressure's on integrity, they never fold.
No.
24/7, great customer service. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, we're always here for you.
The NL wildcard race is getting pretty close as well. San Francisco surprisingly finds themselves only a game and a half out. 75-74, sitting just above 500, but I had completely counted the Giants out, even after that Devers trade, the way Rafael Devers had slumped. My grandfather's a Giants fan. He told me that I should not count them out, and I don't want to say he's right, but he might be right. If we're getting a Chicago, San Diego, San Francisco wild card to take on the division leaders of Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles, how far can that last wild card team go in the NL side of the playoff race?
Man, anything's possible. If you control your controllables and you put your head down like what Chad said and just grind it out, like anything's possible. I feel like that structure is for, making sure anybody that's, kind of trailing along the backside who wants to kind of be a force late. That's what that structure is for, right?
Even against such tough teams like Milwaukee, the 91-win Brewers.
Yeah, just don't want to count them out, right?
If you make it right, you've got a chance.
Yeah, you got a chance.
There you go.
There's a chance.
That's pretty good way to look at it. I'm hoping Boston makes a nice run. The Red Sox are my team of choice. We're sitting at 82-68 right now, a game in. But we did just drop the series to New York, which I was not happy about. Got a nice win on Garrett Crochet bump day. Okay, that was all right. But some important games are coming up. Y'all got to get the MLB app. So when you start following along baseball, you can play the Immaculate Grid. I don't know if y'all have heard about that, but I'm going to pull it up for you here. So this is... Whoa, just threw my phone around. If it'll load, this is the Immaculate Grid. It's a grid, a 3x3 grid. They've got categories on each axis, right, X and Y. And you've got to name a player from throughout history that fits into the two, two categories. It's like we're looking at there, what's a player that has played for both the Braves and the Rangers? And you got to do that throughout the entire way. I think it's a lot of fun. I don't keep up with baseball like that, so I like to see how far I can get sometimes.
Right. How far have you gotten on this?
I have had one Immaculate Grid through all the ones I've played.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on all of those.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. All right, but that's I'll update the people on my Immaculate Grid progress later on. But no, I think that's a lot of fun. Chad, you might be able to do that with football, from what it sounds like.
Absolutely, I'll give it my best shot. Do they make that for football?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give it a try for sure.
I'm sure you could Google one and find one online. All right, but let's close out this segment here. Last thing I want to mention is, guys, you said that pretty much any team that makes it to October has a chance to win it all. The Mets are struggling right now. They are on a historic slide. They've got the second worst record in the majors, I believe, since the All-Star break. If they manage to hold on and cling to that last spot, how good is the Mets' chances? Because even with them making it, it doesn't feel like this team has a lot going for it.
I'm calling it right now. They're going to win the whole thing if they make it. You heard it here.
I'm not sure I'm going to go along with that one, but the take is out there. It's on the internet. You can come back and tell Chad if he's right. So, hey, we are live at Integrity Heat and Air here in Oklahoma City. We've got one more segment coming at you, folks. We're going to talk some breaking news, some local news, sort of all the stuff we want to talk about. But Integrity is at 7157 Northwest 80th Street. They do heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, all that good stuff. You can come out here and see them. They're usually hanging out in that warehouse out there. I see the table and like the couch or something y'all have out there. So that's where you can find them. We'll come back after this commercial break. One more segment here on the game plan. Thanks for listening. Okay, folks, we are coming back out of commercial break here with segment number 4 of the game plan, live from Integrity Heat and Air. We've got just 10 minutes left for you, folks. I know this show has gone by so fast, but we're at Integrity 7157 Northwest 80th Street here in Oklahoma. Call them at 405-498-2399 round the clock service. Thanks to the guys for coming out. Chad, Michael, thank you guys for doing this with me. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, thank you. We appreciate it.
There you go. He about punched you in the face with that microphone. Hey, on this last segment, we like to talk about whatever we want to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and get back into the football talk here. We're going at it in break, but one thing I want to mention is that OU running back Torrey Blaylock has been named SEC Freshman of the Week after grabbing 100 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns versus Temple. So congrats to Blaylock. Chad, clearly the thoughts around OU are that that kid was going to be big even before we knew about him.
Yes, absolutely. He's very electrifying. He has a lot of grit. He banged up his shoulder in week 1, but he's just powered through it. I believe that he's a 1,000-yard back this year for sure.
Nice. 1,000-yard back. I like that prediction. In 6 quarters of football, Jalen Hurts has 0 passing touchdowns. He was the Super Bowl MVP and only has 214 passing yards through 2 games. Now, I have a Philly fan back home that I'm real close with. He's a good guy. I've had him on my show before. He hates the game plan Philadelphia has been drawing up for their offense, and I'm kind of starting to see it. Now, I hope it doesn't get better as a Cowboys fan, but I do see it. I don't know why they won't let Jalen play quarterback. It's kind of ridiculous. They don't draw up, and this is kind of one side. I'm just kind of speaking my mind here, but they don't draw up really good passing plays for an offense that boasts Jalen Hurts at quarterback, A.J. Brown out at wideout. They've got weapons. They just don't let them use it. It's screens. It's checkdowns. It's maybe a couple slants here and there. That team, they've gone through so much coaching drama. It's kind of been, it's not really a carousel there, but it feels like it could be at the drop of a pin. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about Philadelphia this year. They're 2-0. They just got to win over the Chiefs. But again, it's kind of like the Chiefs wins last season. It wasn't a convincing win. If y'all caught that game, feel free to hop in. But, man, I knew the Chiefs were going to have a down year. I'm thinking Philadelphia might be kind of fraudulent.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of trust in Jalen running the ball. They have Devontae Smith as well, and they're just not getting him in the game. I'm also a Philadelphia fan. I agree that they're just not using their weapons as they should. They're putting a lot of pressure on Saquon and Jalen running the ball. It's a long season to make them run as many have as many carries as they've been getting.
You are spot on right there, my man. You are spot on. For the first time since his sophomore year of high school, since we were talking about the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes has started a season 0-2. He never started a season 0-2 through half of high school, all of college, and all of his career in the NFL, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, can you imagine that? Not taking more than one loss in the first 2 seasons. Ridiculous. That guy, is he – I can't believe I'm going to ask this. Is he the greatest of all time?
No, that's Tom Brady. He's – I think the dynasty's over for the Chiefs, to be honest with you. I think they're going to be a good football team, but I think the dynasty's over. Tom Brady's definitely the GOAT.
Mike, you agree with that one? Is it Tom?
1,000%. Tom Brady's the GOAT by far.
I wanted to play a little bit of devil's advocate and say, well, it was really just his coach and his tight end. He was a system, and then he went and won one in Tampa Bay, so I can't even play devil's advocate for that. But nah, I agree with you.
I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but I gotta give credit where it's due. He's definitely the GOAT.
There you go. And some breaking news. Well, not really breaking. It happened yesterday in that Minnesota game. Justin Jefferson has tied Larry Fitzgerald for the youngest player to reach 500 receptions. So, congrats to Jay Jettis. Of course, Minnesota lost that game. It was kind of not a great performance by J.J. McCarthy, but he was also scrambling and under pressure the entire game. So his O-line wasn't helping anybody out there. Now, let's talk anything else. Oh, well, of course I can mention it for the Cowboys. Brandon Aubrey knocking down 64-yard field goals like it's just another Tuesday, because it pretty much is for him. Have y'all ever tried to kick a field goal? Even just once?
I was a high school kicker.
64 yards is impressive. And no, I've never tried to kick a football, but 64 yards is impressive.
Okay. I have tried in practices just fooling around. I can't even get the ball to go 10 yards. I can't even get the ball in the air. I hope you were at least better than that, but 64 yards just whenever he wants. How can anybody do that?
Definitely could never get close to that. 35's my max. So
At least you know the max. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I can't even get it off the ground. So 35 is nothing to scoff at. You could go do one of those college game days and like win the money they do for the kicks.
I think about that all the time. I'd love to give it a shot.
I've had friends that have gone to Thunder games and shot the half court shot and actually won on that. You ought to try it sometime. You ought to put your name in the hat and see if you can get drawn.
Yeah, it's something I'd look forward to for sure. I also want to do the kicking for Chick-fil-A at halftime of the OU game as well.
There you go. I forgot about that, dude. They have some pretty fun halftime stuff. All right. We're running out of time here. When's the next time y'all are going to go to a game, you think? If you had your choice, which one on the season would you go to?
I might go this weekend.
Oh, really? That'd be a great game to go to.
Absolutely.
I agree with Chad. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, so I grew up there, and so it'd be nice to see Auburn play OU. So probably this weekend.
Nice. Carpool. Get yourself some nice seats up there in like the middle row. Get right in the middle of the red. I like it. Perfect. That'll be a good game. That'll be a good game for sure. And, of course, we're going to get Chad on the game day show. He's going to be their guest picker. 6 for 6 on all his predictions, just like Lee Corso was. So loving that one. Hey, thank you to everybody who has tuned into this show. We're going to replay this later today, so if you missed it now, you can hear it then. But thanks again to everybody that did tune in live on Facebook and live on the gospelstation.com, Scroll Sports and Talk, our online service. Guys, before we sign off, one more time, tell us about Integrity Heat and Air. What's the number? Where are y'all at? The services you provide.
Absolutely. So we service all OKC, Edmond, Norman, and surrounding areas. We take care of all of your home needs from HVAC, plumbing, electrical. And remember, Boomer.
Sooner, and we offer free estimates. Our phone number is 405-498-2399. Give us a call, even outside of conventional business hours. We're here and definitely ready to serve.
There you go. And is there any way they can reach you two specifically if they want to?
Yes, absolutely. My number is pretty much wide open. I'm on call most days. My phone number is 405-202-0605. And also, too, my email address is Michael, super simple, Michael@integrityheatingandair.com.
My number you'll have to get with Coleman to reach me. I can't give my personal number out unless if you want to talk sports. I mean,
yeah, it's just the right context, right? I have the right context for it. There you go. Hey, well, you guys pointed to the back rooms right there when you said Boomer Sooner, and I know Blaine came through, and we all gave him a quick horns down.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of a rivalry that happens in the office?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's a big Texas fan, and I like the guy, but not on game days.
Spoken like a true Oklahoma fan. I love it. I'm sure this office will be up in flames come Red River rivalry. So.
Oh, yeah, we already got a $100 bet on that one.
Only 100? Come on.
He won't go more. He knows they're going to lose.
There you go. Blaine, they're calling you out. Here it comes. Our final guest of the show coming in.
All I can say, guys, is go Longhorns. No matter what these two gentlemen tell you, they may be good service techs and good at what they do, but they don't know quality teams. No.
All right. Hey, thank y'all again for doing this. Thanks for letting us host. It's been a lot of fun, fellas. And again, to everybody who's listening online, we thank you for tuning in as well. We'll be back later on with some games this week, so tune in right here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. But for now, this is Luke Young with Chad and Michael signing off.